How are you? Hey, I got something to say. First of all, I just want to say much gratitude from the women around the world who have supported this idea of me reaching out to women just for 30 minutes to see what they have to say. That one thing they want to say, just that one thing. And from there, we build on it. And it was crazy because when I first started that, I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just do this through COVID. But now people are like, no, no, no. We love it. Please keep going. I'm like, you got it. It worked. Yeah. Woo! All right, so let me tell a little story because for those who are watching, before I was sitting here yapping about who knows what, and Julie wasn't coming in. I'm like, don't worry, let's give it another shot. And that's a big thing I want to tell people. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. The most beautiful things you do in the world that come from your heart, they're messy. They're all kinds of messy. And that's what I love about going live. So before we get into that, Julie, I'm so happy you're here. Love your background. Let me tell them a little bit about you. Julie is excited to share the magic of living courageously from the heart. She has taken decades of healing experiences, curiosity, voyages, and downloads from the angels and her guides to bring messages and activations to you. Okay. God, bring one of my angels in. Okay. All right. I'll bring them all. Her debut book, Life of Love, A Joyful Guide to Self and Sensuality, takes readers on a journey of self-discovery and gives them words to connect with their guides and steps to find each person's unique light and power. Julie, I was thinking, where did we meet before? How did we meet? Like, I know, I forgot. Did I interview you? Did you interview me? Like, how did we meet? Do you remember?
You checked out my Podmatch profile and reached out to be a guest on my show because you wanted to talk about angels. You're a fabulous five. You're Cinco.
Oh, snap. That's right.
Yeah.
I love that. And then I'm like, ooh, you have to come on my show. So thank you so much for coming on. So your one statement I was talking about, I started this show a few years ago during COVID to connect with women around the world, but we love our men too who tune in, who just felt, especially after the age of 35, they felt like they weren't being heard as much. So we started something, Julia said, hey, I got something to say, and I wanted to give people a platform for that. And now even after, I shouldn't say after COVID, but things are way more opened up, everyone requested the show continue. And I love live because you never know what's going to happen. Your statement is a big statement. The one thing you want to tell women around the world and men listening, you are a powerful being of light. And I got so many questions for you before you came on because I reach out to my peeps. And they're like, Sandy, you speak about it. And I know you say Julie's going to speak about it. But when they really want to understand a little more of when you say you're coming from your heart, what's that mean? What do you do to connect? And when did you start doing that? How young were you when you started doing this? Two-part question.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thank you for having me on and letting me share. I love your platform. So this is an honor, and I'm a little nervous because it's such an honor. But I, when I connect to my heart,
wait, before you go, so you're not nervous, I'll make you not nervous. You ready? I'll cluck like a chicken. Now, that's weird. So there you go. You can't do anything worse than that. All right, go ahead.
Oh, well, I've always been very sensitive, so connecting to my heart was a really powerful way to center my emotions and let myself know that I was okay, to the point where like people just don't understand how I express my emotions. And I guess it was after you feel love, love, and we've all been in that vibration. But I guess what happened was in my mid to late 30s, I can relate. I didn't feel like I was being heard, and I felt like I was sort of a zombie, and nothing, nothing abusive in my life, no hardships, nothing that I could pinpoint and say this was a thing that made me feel like a zombie. I was just going through life, and
Mm.
I knew there's something more. And I asked God to show me. I searched, and like you said, I read books. I've done decades of self-improvement, like going
Mm.
down wormholes. But the biggest thing was when I understood the power that my heart had. And when
Mm.
I was able to feel, and this sounds quirky, but I feel my energy, but you woke up this morning, you have like this pulse of your spirit, your life is in you, and we take it for granted that we're vibrant in this life, and feeling the opposite, feeling like a zombie, is there to wake you up. Like if you're feeling like you're just going through the motions, like you're trudging through the mud, like, oh, I'm here doing this again, and oh, I'm cooking this dinner again, and oh, we're having the same conversation about the Braves or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But those are the things that minutia, those are the things that tell your soul, wake up, like. And so yeah, I just started searching, and I had a healing done, but basically it wasn't anything someone did to me. It was that I asked for it to come to me.
Yeah.
Um,
So, Julie,
yeah.
before you go on, because I really want them to hear everything you're saying, I'm going to yip for a little bit while you take your headset off and take your necklace off, because your necklace is banging into your headset. So the whole time they're hearing jingle, jingle, jingle. So I'm going to talk. So
There you
what a
go.
lot of people don't, oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Good.
So what a lot of people don't know is that since I've been little, I've always felt there was these five angels surrounding me, and that's what you and I talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just tune in, and I would have fun names at times, but it was just all part of how I connected to my heart. I didn't know what I was doing. I was, a little kid. Years later, people would say stuff like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about me. I got five angels." And the joke was that even people that weren't sure would ask to borrow them, and we would have to make contracts up. All right, you're getting one. Maybe I'll give it to you for an hour. Wait a minute, you need it for a day? I need two. Okay, how serious is it? And it still happened to this day that I go, okay, I'm going to lend you my angels. So anyhow, all right. So thank you, because it was like that. You have a beautiful necklace on, but I wanted them to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, it was just so silly. I was trying to be wired so it would be more clear, and
I can
sometimes the
hear
best
you
intentions.
awesome. I can hear you awesome.
Yay.
So I'm getting more questions in. We understand connecting to your heart, but they still want to know, what is one way that you do it? Like some people, like I know, like it comes easy. You go, okay, we felt love before, but they really want a few techniques, just things to start them out if they are in tune with that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, simple, simple. You can put your hands together and then slowly pull them apart, and you can feel when the energy is coming between your hands, like you're shooting out electromagnetic. You can feel it change, and you can feel compress and stretch and get cooler and warmer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your hands are powerful, but if you can put that your right hand to your heart and feel the energy coming from your heart to your hand, and then just sit with it, and try not to let anything else come into your field, nothing else in your head. Just breathe and sit with that, the pulsing of your own heart. And it sounds sort of quirky, but
It's okay. We're quirky. We're good with quirky.
just feel, just it everything's, Sandy, everything's simple. It's so simple. Just
Yeah.
feel your own freaking heartbeat. Like, feel it. You're there. This is your center. If you close your eyes, you might even see some visions, or you might even ask to see something. But, I'll see like sparkles, or um, it's just simple. Just go to yourself and just feel your pulsing heart. Your heart is the strongest electromagnetic current that comes from your body, and people can
Mm.
feel your heart when you enter a room. I mean, everyone always concentrates on the brain and we're so powerful, but it's scientific. They put meters up to your heart and your brain, and your heart is way more powerful. And these are things that they're not going to teach you in school. It's like
Not
woo
yet,
woo.
not yet, not yet, maybe.
Hopefully, I would love to. If anyone wants me to come teach their 3-year-old how to connect to their heart, I'd love that. And I
Ah,
started when my son was like, when your kids get out of control, it's like 3 or 4, they start to get crazy. I'm going back in time here, but remember they said, "Oh, swaddle them, wrap them up, because
yeah,
they need to feel their center," or all the swaddling things is so
yeah,
important,
yeah.
right? But if you can do that to yourself, like, why don't we treat ourselves as delicately and as cherished as our little babies? Because we're just as important as little babies. Like, what do we get away from treating ourselves as divine gifts, like these
Mm.
sacred things? So yeah, just feel your heart. Yeah.
Now, I'm so glad that you said it's really not complicated. It really is simple. It does take a little practice and a little time to quiet yourself down, because I was just talking to my friend the other day, and as much as I connect, and I do, I mean, me and my five, I call my five, my Fab Five here, and my higher power connect. I go out a lot of times, sit under a tree. They're like, is the tree talking to you? Maybe. No, I feel its energy. It's a
You feel
joke.
the energy. The ions are
I
on the
feel the
tree.
energy,
Yeah.
but it's so simple, but yet you have to really take the time to step back from thinking that, no, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And it happens all the time. We get caught up and we don't even realize we're unconnecting to our secret sauce, which is our innate being, peace, love, and joy. I mean, that's it. And like you said, just putting your hands on your heart, you start feeling different. And you do. When you walk in a room, you sense energy. I mean, it's not woo-woo. You sense energy when you walk in a room.
Hmm. And your point is so well taken, because just because it's a simple process doesn't make it easy. You have to practice. You have to, and whatever you need to do, do you need to take a shower and just rinse it off? Do you need to smell? I love to just go out and smell the roses
Yeah.
when they're in the sunshine. They just, whew, you don't have to pick them. You just go up to the plant, and whatever you need to do to just calm the noise. That's the first step. And just give yourself permission to be, just to be,
Yeah.
because you're perfect. You don't need to do. You just
Yeah.
need to be, and
Yeah.
let yourself be for just a few minutes. You're worth it. And it makes the world a better place.
Oh, it does. It does. Because when you're feeling that, everyone else benefits, man. Everyone else benefits.
Yeah, let them,
They
they're
want to
borrowing your
know.
angels, but they can borrow your energy too. It's all part of this big wonderful thing. And I just,
Not that this
since I
has
started,
anything, yeah. Not that this
yeah.
has anything to do with it, but there's some show, and I don't even want to know what the name is. I think it's on Netflix, but it's about taking hallucinogens. Okay. Not, and I'm a big chicken. I don't judge any of it, but all the people that did it, it was more that I saw. It was more for a spiritual path, and every single, and I'm not saying that's what everyone does it for, and I don't really know that much about it, but I popped it on. I'm like, whoa, everyone was saying the same thing, like in a different way. Wow, we're so connected. Everything is so connected. I realized how apart, like they were all coming away with the same feeling and, different visions and the same feeling. And I think that's why, for me, being out, and everybody connects differently, I do it out in Mother Nature. When I'm hiking, when I'm biking, when I'm sitting under a tree, is when I feel the most powerful. You're right. Some people say they feel it in the shower
Mhm.
because they're relaxed. So, all right, they want to know. Questions are coming in fast and furious. Do you have a certain amount of angels? And do they have names?
Oh, that's a great question. I have I have thousands of angels. And
Well, I
it's
only
not
got
like,
five. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
no, I
Time
mean,
out. No, wait a minute.
I call in the troops, Sandy. I mean, I don't, nothing, you got the Fab
Hold on.
Five. You got your Cinco.
Wait a minute. I want thousands.
You can have as
I want
many
the army.
angels as you want. You really
I
can.
want backup. I want backup.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. And there are angels for, I'm in a bad mood. You can call in the angels for a bad mood. You don't have to know their names. That's what some people are like. I call Ezekiel, I call Raphael, and they're beautiful. And Archangel Michael he's solid. He's with us. Archangel Michael is with all of us. We all have at least 3 guardian angels. Gloria was the first angel that I met. Like, she came forward and introduced herself, Gloria. But Archangel Michael is definitely really strong with me. But I
Wait a
don't.
minute. Wait a minute. You can't just
What?
move on. What do you mean? I've only gotten feelings. I've never had a Gloria come to me and say, hey, my name's Gloria. Like, wait a minute. How was
Well,
that?
I mean, no, it was my friend Carolyn that told me it was Gloria. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, she's the one who can tell me the names, but I don't, it's not like I get this bolt of lightning. I mean, I'm just a normal person. I'm just a normal person.
Aren't we all?
I just want to live in magic. And
Yeah.
I just, I just want people to know it's not like, this woo-woo thing. It's just, I know that there are beings around me supporting me. And especially after loved ones pass, I feel hands on my shoulders. I feel support. I mean, all you have to do is ask. You just say, hey, can you show me something? And a song will come on the radio. You'll see repeating numbers. Number 1 repeating, that's always angels. When it's 1111, 111, any license plate numbers. I mean, just look around. Their feathers fall down. I mean, they just, when I was procrastinating about connecting to my angels, because they're always there, they want to help us, but we have to ask, and we can't intervene with anyone else's life. Like, I can't send my angels to go work on Sandy, because that's not free will. But you can call your own angels in, and when people want to borrow, that's great. I mean, you're a conduit.
They're asking. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And your life relationship with your angels is amazing. It's just something that I discovered when I realized I was living a zombie life and just going through emotions. And I just wanted more magic. I just want to feel more alive,
Yeah.
It's just something, and it's not a handbag. It's not a hairstyle. It's a life. It's a life.
So I think there's 2 big things that I want to really home in on. And the first one is you have to have that leap of faith, which I think a lot of people do. There's something bigger than me out there. And they may not be sure what it is, but there's something bigger out there that's connected us. Okay. So no matter what your faith, whatever your religion is, number 1. Number 2, which you said, and I think it's the biggest thing, your eyes have to be open to see and be willing, to accept, and you're asking for it. So when you ask, the way it's going to come to you may not be what you thought, but I always say, keep my eyes and ears open to all the magic and miracles that are going to happen today. I say that almost every day in a different way because I get bored. And the only difference between me and any other person is I'm looking for it and asking for it, all the time. And when I go off, I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't I ask for guidance on that? Like, why am I batting my head against the wall, you goofball? You know what I mean? But we all do. We all do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we forget our resources. And that's the thing. The things that are the most available to us, we take for granted.
So true. It's like we don't go to the restaurant or the museum that's a block away, but we'll travel thousands of miles, and then people come up your own backyard and go, oh, I want to go to this, but because it's always there.
Hmm. And that's the same as your angels. I mean, it's the same exact thing.
All right, so tell us a little bit more about your practice. Like, do you have a routine that you do in the morning or at night? Is it always different? Tell us a little bit about your, whatever it is. Doesn't have to just be about the angels, your morning routine.
Well, and I wrote about this in my book because it's just such
Ooh.
yeah, I have tips, so I'd love to talk about it. I start every day just when I wake up, first of all, I thank God for the day. I'm like, thank you for this day. And then I just lay there and I go through my systems. I go through and I'm like, thank you for my mind, and thank you for my eyes and my skin. And I go through all my systems and just send them appreciation and feel what I'm feeling as I'm laying in bed. And then I'll do like a stretch, stretch my heels out as far as they go. Like I'm going to touch my heel to the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, just stretch my heels and I over my head. And then I usually roll over and pet my dog because when my husband gets up to take his shower, he always gets up before me. She takes his warm spot. and so I have a moment with my dog and send her some love. And then I say, God, angels, help me live the highest expression of this day.
Ooh, I like that. Help me live the highest expression of the day.
Mm-hmm.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And then I invite them in. I say, today and every day, I invite you in. Mm-hmm.
And
So
how
if I
that doesn't even take that long. That doesn't even take that long.
no. And sometimes, I might forget, but I always say today and every day to cover myself because, sometimes, you can't.
Don't make, I'm choking on my teeth.
I know. I'm like, are you okay?
That's, I cover my bases today, every day, next year, in case I forget.
Right. You got to cover your bases. And then at night,
I
I'm
love
not
it.
so, I wish I could say I did a stretch every night, but if I stretch before I go to bed, I feel so good.
Yeah,
It's really important to tell your muscles you love them and you appreciate them, especially when you're getting closer to 50 and, just give your body some appreciation,
Oh,
That's
I do. Thanks for hanging in there with me.
yeah.
We got a lot more. Keep going. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. So I know we're going to run out of time soon, but I want to talk about your book. So what inspired you to write your book?
Okay. So I had all this knowledge and I kept getting this inkling to write. And I was like, who am I to write a book? Who am I to put all this? And I just started writing what I had. And then it came to me that the angels need to help. And then I was really happy to write the book because I know I wrote it to help myself and other people that have gone through the same things that I've gone through. And I wanted to do something. They say everything you do creates a ripple. And I just wanted to have a little ripple. And, if I can help someone be more happy and have more joy because I went through something or I read a book and it gave me this insight. And then I just wanted to give people a way to reach out to their angels. So in my book, I have devotions that everything that I suggest for you to try to do, like even the morning routine, everything that the suggestions about eating clean, suggestions about, knowing your pleasure, everything has an angel message. So you don't have to have the words. You don't have to come up with the words. You just read from my book to invite them in. I give you the words.
Yeah.
And the words came from the angels. So I'm good, right? And they have activities in there and it's interactive. It's fun. And, I throw in humor. And you have to laugh. I mean, you go through something that's hard, but then if you can laugh at it, then you've conquered it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It helps. It helps a lot. So they want to know, I don't if you have kids or your husband, are they on board? Do they all feel they have angels? or do they support you on your journey? What's going on with the family now?
Well, my husband's more of a traditionalist. If he can't see it, feel it, taste it, put a frame around it, it doesn't exist. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
he appreciates my attitude, and the way I love him changed so much since I invited the angels in, and that he will never question my connection to the angels because he knows he benefits from it because I'm happier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. I don't know what's going on, but keep it going. Yeah.
Right, right. He's like, whatever it is, I support you, honey. I love you. And so I'm blessed with that. I mean, and he always encouraged me to write the book. He was very behind me in that. And then my boys, they're amazing. I mean, they're intuitive and they're caring, and
How
just
old are they?
19 and 16.
Oh,
And
are
so,
they both at home or is one away? What do you got going on?
well, that's interesting. Florida evacuated, right? So my oldest son got to come home.
Oh, he was in Florida?
He was in
Where did he
Florida.
go?
He's a freshman at Florida Southern College. And so
Ah,
he
okay.
brought half the tennis team home with him. So I'm hosting I'm hosting a bunch of college tennis players in my house
Because
right
they
now.
need somewhere to go. Good for you.
So that's fun. And then yeah, my 16-year-old is home too, and they're just they're the light of my life. I always knew I wanted to be
Oh,
a mom, and you
yeah,
know it's great, and just it's not that they talk about their angels, but they know they have help and they know they have support.
yeah, yeah. I understand. Yeah.
Hmm.
I always say my kids make me want to be a better person. And I mean that. Like every day, I want to learn something new and see how I can have self growth and give out to the world. And not that I didn't already want to do it, but when you have kids, you really want to do it, right?
Right. And I didn't really understand that my power fully until I was able to have children. And I was like, wow, I did this, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a empowering. I just want everyone to know that their bodies and their souls are such a gift, and the things that we can do are such a blessing. And never let anyone let you feel like your body isn't enough, because it is. And you have to keep learning how to love it. And if you feel sick or tired or in the quagmires, your body's trying to tell you something. So just get quiet and listen. And your heart, that's why connecting your heart's so powerful, because you slow down and you're really tuning in to what you're feeling. And so
Yeah.
your body's different from everyone else's. Don't think that you're going to watch a bunch of TikToks and get medical advice. You have to intuit. Like everyone's selling something, right, Sandy? Everyone's selling.
I don't know. I hardly ever go on TikTok, but I hear about it.
It's just like, oh my gosh. I was on there for a little bit. I was like, I need to do this cleanse, and my skin needs this, and I need to put my makeup on this way. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so deficient, and it's like, wait a minute, this is just a big ad. Please.
Julie, you are such a delight. You are so. I could talk to you forever, but we gotta
And
do
my
have a
book
good sense of
is on
humor.
Amazon right now. Today, my publisher just put the digital copy up on Amazon. So finally, it's been a work.
Woo! Woo!
That was a beautiful thing about today. I was like, it happened. So the paper copy will be ready
And
soon.
today, while we're going live, wow.
Yeah. She just put on Amazon this morning. She texted me that it was up, and so it's on Amazon. Life of Love: A Joyful Guide to Self and Sensuality. So excited. By Julie Hilsen.
Yes, Julie, you crack me up. I forget. Wait, are you in Alabama?
I'm in Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Okay, which makes sense why they came from Florida to you.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're okay and everybody's good.
I know.
All right. Yeah. Julie, we got to go. But any other words of wisdom? I mean, I think what you put out there is very powerful. And like you said, none of it is complicated, but it doesn't mean it's easy. You know, it takes a little time to develop the habit and to hear what's going on and listen. Is there anything that you want to say before we go?
Well, I want to reiterate, like, what seems regular to you is your magic, and that you take for granted your biggest gifts. So anything that comes easy to you, just appreciate that, because that's what you're supposed to share. You're
Yeah.
supposed to share the easy. We always say, I gotta struggle, I gotta get this, I gotta go there, and and be in your easy. Like, appreciate your easy too, because it's
That is so freaking powerful. I cannot tell you how many times I think about it when someone compliments me, and this happens to a lot of people, and I go, no, 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 that's no big deal. That's just me. But you're right. It's just me. And because it's just you and it comes so easy, you think it's got to be something else because this is just too easy. You know what I mean? Everybody must have this gift. But that's not true.
yeah.
That's all right. Tell them again, how can they find you? I know your book is on Amazon. Amazon. You like that? They're going to love that. Amazon. And I'm not cutting it.
It sounded like Amazon and amazing together.
I was. That's what I was doing. I was like amazing that it came out on Amazon. I do that all the time.
I love
Like
it.
love. But where else can they find you? Look you up.
My website is youneedapeptalk.com. And
Shut up. I love that. Love that. Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you. And I started that before the angels were involved. They, I mean, I know they've always been involved, but
They were there, yeah.
Before I recognized them consciously. Because, yeah. And so then my podcast is Life of Love, A Joyful Guide to Self and Sensuality. It's the same name as my book. My podcast and my book are the same. But youneedapeptalk.com is where, that's the hub of everything.
So fun. So fun. All right, I'm going to let you go. Have fun with your son and the tennis players. Have a great time. People, hey, I got something to say. Julie definitely had something to say. And don't worry if you miss some of it. I'm going to record it in a little bit, and then I'm going to put it on all the different platforms. Julie and I would really be grateful if you shared it, liked it, and rated it. It would mean so much. Thank you so much, Julie. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad you were on today. And until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Toodles. Bye, Julie.
Thank you.